The first thing that we're going to do with the horse, because I said this is a two-part system, but there's actually a third piece to it.
Okay.
If we were to scan every horse in any type of barn, you would find points up here in the pole because of what's called halter trauma. Now, there's nothing wrong with halters, you and I both know that. But if this horse was tied up and something spooked it, when he gets to the end of the rope, he gets the living heck out, jerked out of his pole. And the pole being a primary range of motion limiter, this horse needs to be able to use his head and neck freely because that's his primary balance tool. So anything that restricts his ability to freely move his head and neck is going to hurt the way that body moves. Reining, barrels, dressage, whatever. So we decided very early on, rather than try and fuss with treating this or scanning this, and some of the big horses, as you can see, I'm vertically challenged, so a 17-hand horse with his head up, I don't get to scan his head without step lap. We built this. And this is basically, there we go. This has LEDs, and these are medical grade LEDs, specific really red light, about 660 nanometers. There's 2 rows down the vertebral column. There's some over the sinus acupuncture points around the backs of the neck. We put this on the horse first because it's going to treat the halter trauma. It's going to make him much more comfortable and fluid about moving his head and neck. Well, we will get you an understanding and seeing what's going on. Do you have the other piece of that, or are we just using this one off?
Just that one.
Okay. That just gives them a style statement here. And then just
looks good.
undo this a little bit and drape it over there. So if he starts shaking his head a little bit to relax and gets the kinks into his neck, he will be very comfortable to do that. Okay. So that's the first thing we do, just to treat the pole area. But we found out after we started using this that there's a side effect to this.
Okay.
The side effect is very positive, perhaps as important as the pole work, because it tends to create a very strong endorphin and enkephalin release, body short-term, long-term painkillers. So a lot of the horses that we get are very agitated because they're in pain. They've been mishandled or they've been abruptly handled, so they're not real compliant like this sweetheart is. And so getting the horse to calm down is going to be a real asset for us as we're trying to get around and scan this horse.
Okay.
This horse is already very nice and calm, but if this horse were a little wired and agitated, you would see it. Its head come down, its eyes get droopy, which he will anyway. Lower lip, I mean, I was sitting in a Budweiser Clydesdale once trying to scan the butt of the horse and had this on there, and the cross ties are holding the horse up because this really does work. So that's the first step.